Hi, so welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be giving messages based on who's listening to this, also briefly for the week ahead. Yes, I'm just going to go into it. And, just to mention before we start about the Archangel Raphael site. That's for one-to-one sessions, monthly transmissions, 5-minute transmissions and a shamanic protocol. The Gen site is for audios, and we normally have new audios come out weekly, um, and and also groups and past groups. And in the description, I have a link. I've got two links for a couple of people in Gaza who need help in order to survive. And so that's in the description. And if you wanted to join the fundraiser for Gaza, that's £46. And if you send that donation to Ahmed, which is $60, I'll send you a oneness transmission. So if you want to be part of that, just send the donation, send me a screenshot, and I'll send you over the transmission. And yeah, so I'm just going to let Raphael come in and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I'm seeing at the moment is that energies are very much about going forwards in a way which is light-hearted, but also in a way where you are going deep within and really feeling what is right for you when. And by this, I mean to be very much in your higher self connection, to know what really fits with your path and what does not. And it is important to distinguish between things that feel good on a level that is earthly and things which are really right for you inwardly. And the way that you know the difference is when something is something that is positive, that feels good on the earth. You will have a sense inside that it is something that is good, positive, but you will not feel drawn to it on a deeper level. You will not really feel to go in that direction. Whereas when something is right for you on a deeper level, it may even be on an earthly level, you don't immediately have a sense that it is giving you something. It may even be the other way round, that on the earth you have a sense inside initially that perhaps it is not giving you what you need immediately. A bit like a sense that there is something here you are drawn to, but not really being sure what it is, finding it hard to define, perhaps even initially just feeling like you need to step away and then see how you feel later. Then what happens is you start to go deeper and deeper and feel a connection. So, normally, when something is really right for you on a deeper level, you will have an initial encounter with it, whether it is a person, whether it is something else, like perhaps a particular teaching modality, perhaps something else that is really right for you on a deep level. And then you will go back to yourself and it will stay in your awareness. And then it may even be a few months down the line that you start to really feel the need for it, that it starts to feel stronger and stronger. And when something is really right for you on a very deep level, what happens is the feeling comes and goes according to the state you are in. So when you go really deep, you feel a strong connection to it. And then when you are living your life, which is perhaps a bit more karmic at times, a bit more like you are getting on with what is in front of you, then that thing tends to be more at the back of your mind. You may even forget about it for a while, whilst you get on with something that you have to do on a level that is immediate. So it is a reminder that when you are really very much in your higher self connection, You may come across things which are right for you, but then for a while those things fade to the background until you are really ready to allow them into your life on a deeper level. And something else I will say about higher level connection with something on a deeper, higher level is that it will always be that sometimes you have a feeling inside that that thing is perhaps not giving you everything you want. And that is because you have many parts to you. You have parts to you which are more earthly, more about levels, which are very much to do with immediate needs, but also within this, desires, things you want, which are really very much to do with the ego, things you want to experience perhaps, maybe only once, just so that desire is fulfilled, and then you never want to do it again. So, what I will say is that all these parts also need to be worked through, whether you do this through meditation, whether you do this by actually having certain experiences on earth. So it is a reminder that at the moment, life will actually be bringing you things which are right for you, generally, because your higher selves are very active, actively working with one another, so the right things come in for all of you, whether it is people, opportunities, job opportunities, or other things. But what you will find is for a while, whatever comes in as an introduction into your life, it may go to sleep for a while whilst you are clearing things up, clearing up karma, clearing up old contracts, working through things, going through your own inner processes. So it is also for you to know that you will be really encountering really positive things. And some of these things you may not even fully notice till later on. So it is a reminder about this. I would like to speak about one more thing today. And what I would like to share is that there is always going to be a difference between those of you who are very much about spirit and light and those of you who are much more about earthly ambition and actually having your material goals met. So, what I will say about those of you about spirit and light is that your motivation inwardly will be to be in the light of oneness, to awaken from within, to be one with all that is. And you will be able to then go into a state where you know that whatever happens from this place will be right, whatever it is, open to life, flexible, perhaps even in the mindset that if something doesn't happen for you this life, it is okay, that what is meant to be will happen. But those of you who are very much about material goals, ambition, making progress in earthly ways, will become angry and frustrated when certain things do not happen as you expect. You will start to feel perhaps even bitter and resentful about anything that you have been doing inwardly that hasn't brought you closer to your material goals. And when you are of that mindset, you start to create your own problems, problems which are much more to do with your emotional reactions, the things that you perhaps really believe you are owed, things which you believe should happen if you do certain things. So, believing that if you do certain spiritual practices, certain work, you will be then having certain things like more money or more of something else. And when you are in this particular frequency, it is actually going to be self perpetuating. That the anger, frustration that builds up will then create blocks to abundance, blocks to the right things happening. And then it creates a further material mindset, a sense that there is no point going within because it doesn't work. It doesn't give you what you want. And in this way, it is that many people leave the spiritual path behind and go back into the material world, start going back into old ways, old values. And what I will say about this process is that it is a very natural process. It is a way that those who are truly very much about light, spirit, oneness, are in one way or another separated from those who would like the light, but only to the extent that it gives them what they want on a material, physical basis. So it is a conditional relationship with the light rather than an unconditional surrender to who you really are within, and allowing this to automatically then decide what is right for you and what is not. So I will say it is really natural. And those of you who are perhaps feeling a little bit disappointed with life, perhaps feeling that there are things in your life that have not gone the way you would have liked, even though you have worked on yourself. I would like to remind you that it is really important to stay focused on your inner landscape. Keep going within, keep going. That don't be put off by what has happened and what has not. What has happened can be a reflection of many different karmic energies. But whatever you have been through, whatever has not yet happened for you, keep going and know that ultimately the light within will bring you everything that is right for you in this life. So it is a reminder to those of you who may be feeling a bit despondent at the moment. And also, it is good for you to know that if you are perhaps working with people who are feeling inside that they want a lot of material gain, perhaps you are someone who works on a very deep level with people, a practitioner of the light. If you are working with people like this, you may actually have a sense that it is no longer right, that it is not going to work out, a sense that perhaps what is expected from you as a therapist is not realistic, that it is not really what you are about. So, this is also a time at the moment of separation as well between people who are right for each other and those who are not. So, those who are right for you will come closer, those who are not will go further away. And don't try to interfere with this process. Let it happen naturally because everybody needs to be in the right place at the moment with the right people. And those who have a more material mindset, they have people who are of a similar frequency, resonance, and they are able to come together and work together to create what they want on a material level and actually have what they want. And those of you who are about spirit and light can work together towards greater awakening from within, greater connection to the light within, a greater sense of being able to let go and allow what is right for you to happen. So it is good for you to know all of this. And I want to share one more thing about this process, and that is there is always going to be a lot going on in the world around this separation between people, groups of people, a lot of things. And that is because ultimately life is about two different sorts of energies. That there is the energy of light, of oneness, of being in harmony with all that is. And there is a material energy, that these two energies do exist. And actually, at some point, you are making a choice to go one way or another. And when you make that choice on a very deep level of your being, it will take you down a particular path. And it will mean that you will have a different type of journey to the light, a different process. That for some of you, it is more direct. And for others, the learning is through the material world. It is very much to do with embracing the material world fully and completely and really living by that particular energy. And in that way, learning, making progress, eventually coming to the light again, but doing it in a different way. And it is good for you to know that both paths are completely valid, that neither or is right or wrong, but it is simply that one is more direct, it is a bit faster, and it is more about actually making the connection immediately with the inner being, inner self, and the outer reality. Understanding that it is through going within that ultimately everything that is right for you happens. I have no more to say. The week ahead will generally be a very good one, a week where a lot is able to happen. There are no real issues I see, but perhaps it may just be that you have your own inner processes going on that at times may make you feel a bit tired. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. And yes, I'm wishing you a really good weekend and a good week ahead. And lots of love to all of you. Hmm.